Howdy, Brazos Valley. This is Hayden Riley, broker associate with Inhabit Real Estate Group, and welcome to the Brazos Valley MLS update. In this video, we will dive into the previous month's MLS statistics, going over what this could possibly mean for the real estate market here in the Brazos Valley. The information provided is from the Texas Association of Realtors, the local MLS, and the Texas Real Estate Center. So it is general information. If you'd like to find out what this might mean for you and your individual situation, click on the link below and schedule a brief call. Without any further ado, let's get started. Howdy, Brazos Valley. It is August. Lord, it is August. Triple-digit temperatures. It is so hot. Hence, no bow tie today. So I hope that I have an understanding crowd out there. Let's just say that wearing a bow tie in triple-digit temperatures, I mean, it just locks in the heat. It gets hot. So hopefully that the absence of the bow tie is not too much of a distraction for you guys. But let's look at July's numbers since it is August. We'll start as usual with the average days on market, looking at the green line for 2023. For June, we were at 84 average days on market, and for July, we're at 94. Both well below that 120-day mark that I continue to mention in my videos. If we're at or above 120 days on a regular basis, it's more of a balanced market. So if we're below that 120-day mark, it's a pretty good indicator of a seller's market. Next, we're taking a look at the units sold, otherwise known as closed transactions. And this has, the last couple of months has been a little unusual. I was fully expecting us to be at or above where we were before the pandemic, but in fact, we sold fewer properties in June and July this year than in any of the previous 4 years. Now, that said, don't let that discourage you. We just went over the previous slide saying it's still a seller's market. It just means that we're not selling as many at once as we did this time last year or the previous 4. So, and that's okay. Next, we're going to take a look at the new listings taken, and we're right back on trend. Really, the combination of fewer properties going under contract and us just staying on trend with new listings taken has caused the inventory to go up a little bit. That's a good thing for you buyers out there. Now, it's not a terrible thing for sellers. Again, we're in a seller's market, but buyers have a little bit more room for negotiation. There are fewer properties that have multiple offer situations. So, this is definitely a good thing. So a little bit of benefit for everybody. Next, we're looking at statistics just for Bryan and College Station, whereas the previous 3 slides were for the 7-county area. So our median price point at $304,550, up 6.9%. Our active listings are up 22.7%. Our days on market at 85 for just the 2 cities, and that's 19 more days than this time last year. Price distribution, about where it usually is, with the lion's share of properties between $200,000 and $300,000. Closed sales are down 14.9%, as you saw in the previous slide. The months of inventory at 3. And I want to address this last statistic specifically. And because this is an indicator of activity. Now, when we look at months of inventory, and I know you guys have heard me say this over and over again, but I'll say it again for those of you who are new. Months of inventory is when we take the number of closed transactions for 1 month, and we ask the question, how many months would it take if we didn't add any new listings to the market? How many months would it take for us to completely deplete our inventory? And the answer is 3 months. Now, typically, if we're at, or if that number is at or above 6 months, we're in more of a balanced market, moving into more of a buyer's market. So as you can see, we are well below that 6 number. And before the pandemic, if we had 3 months of inventory, it would be highly active. So, again, we just have to make sure to look at these numbers through the lens of where do we compare before the pandemic. And really, this is very healthy, still in very much a seller's market. Now, looking forward, we're just looking at the number of listings that went under contract as a percentage of the active listings. So 64 properties went under contract last week out of 1,139 active listings. So 5.6% of our inventory went under contract, in 1 week. So although, you're looking at this, first of all, keep in mind that the chart and this statistic that I'm keeping track of, I started keeping track in 2021, which was right in the heart of the pandemic, because I was trying to gauge what was going on. So keep in mind, we don't really know on this chart what's normal. I can tell you from my own experience and from having looked at the other statistics we just went over, it is still a very active market, even if we're only putting 5.6% of our active listings under contract per week. So don't let that dishearten you. Now, what does all of this mean for you individually? Well, as I mentioned at the very beginning, this is all general information taken from the entire area. So the nuances of your individual situation would require a real estate agent to or an area expert sit down with you and discuss your situation, whether it be buying, selling, just trying to figure out what your property value is so you can know whether or not to contest your property taxes, whatever the case might be. So if you would like to reach out to me to talk about this offline, I welcome it. Feel free to reach out. You can call me, 979-324-0016. And you can also email me, hayden@haydenriley.com. Otherwise, I hope this has been helpful, and I hope you guys have a great month of August.